It's funny because when I first started out with Testament, our first album came out, I was 18, and I was playing a very thin guitar. And it was a phase. I was very young. I've completely grown out of it. This really represents where I've gone since. The sound has to come from the guitar first. You can tell a lot about a guitar when it's not plugged in. Obviously, for an electric guitar, to really understand it, you have to plug it in. But you can really tell a lot. You need to hear it by itself first, on its own. Right? You can just, for a solid body guitar, no amp, it's pretty loud. It's got this great acoustic quality. It's just like in a studio, you hear the guitar through a microscope, right? It's not like just plugging it into an amp and hearing it. I actually used this with a couple different front of house guys, and they all gave it the seal of approval, like enthusiastic thumbs up. And the front of house guy has to blend it with the other instruments. So I started using it more and more, and now it's hard to imagine using any other guitar. In terms of the design, it has elements of the Eclipse and other guitars that I've used. It's sort of like a dream guitar. This is as thick as any traditional guitar, and it doesn't have the curve to lean into the body. I'd rather have more of the solid body quality, so I just go for as much of the wood as possible. The neck is relatively thick as well. It has a traditional feeling neck. I like big frets. These are 6100 frets, and it's got these very nice inlays. It's got the special AS inlay, which is optional. And we looked at a bunch of different headstocks. I just loved this headstock, and I couldn't understand why don't other guitars have this headstock. And right now, this is the only guitar that has it. This is a Tone Pros bridge. It has a little bit of extra sustain. Right now, the pickups are Seymour Duncan prototypes that we're in the process of tweaking, and these are going to be signature pickups that will be available separate, and they'll come with the guitar. We've got some interesting things we're working on, some different sound possibilities. One of the great things about working with ESP is you can experiment and you can try these things, and it doesn't have to be exactly like a traditional instrument, but it can still have that quality. The people I knew that owned ESPs were very passionate about it, and I went to music stores and just talked to other musicians and talked to fans and just, what do you think of these guitars? And the track record is really great. ESP scored high in every category. One of my favorite bands, Steely Dan, and the bass players playing ESP. That instrument had to be approved by Donald Fagen. So this is a company that makes good quality instruments.